Welcome everyone. Today we'll have a complete guide for Kyo, the new 5-star character that's going to be coming to the game. You can see over here I have some pretty nice notes ready for us, including the weapon suggestions for crafting, battle pass, and also gacha, artifact choices, set bonus, and also party setup for team resonance, and also possible elemental combos and synergies. Now if you're wondering if Kyo is the right character for you, definitely check out our previous guide where we had a look at her pros and cons and the rates of getting her in the banner. Kyo is a 5-star Catalyst user. She's a pyro character. If we look at her first skill, normal attack is Kaboom. She'll perform up to 3 multiple explosive attacks with the AoE pyro damage, and with each attack she will do additional damage. On top of that, she can do a charge attack which is also pyro damage, AoE, and it will consume stamina. The stamina consumption is 50. To give you guys an example of the stamina usage, it's about 1/4 of a 200 stamina character. We can see over here, by casting her E-spell, what Kyo does is she summons a balloon that jumps forward towards the enemy, and upon contacting enemy it will deal damage, and after that it will explode into many tiny mines. Those mines will stay on the field for 15 seconds, and whoever enemy lands on the mines will explode and deal pyro damage to them. You can also maneuver and move the mines with certain spells. For example, we can use the Amino Wind Traveler to push those mines into the enemy, or drag them towards us. Kyo's E-spell has a 20-second cooldown, and it's quite long, but the good thing is it starts with 2 charges. After using one of the charges, we can wait for the second charge to come back before using it again, so it's pretty much like 10 seconds per charge, but if we use them quickly, we'll have to wait for 20 seconds for the first charge to be back. Kyo's ultimate is Sparks and Slashes. Let's have a look at the replay of this particular ultimate. You can see that after running enemies, I cast a little E-spell and now I started the ultimate. After a short animation, Kyo will summon a little torrent of flower which will continuously attack enemies around her, and those flowers do quite a bit of damage. We can see over here, each of the flower hits for 42.6% power damage, they last for 10 seconds, and the cooldown of the spell is 15 seconds. Having an energy cost of 60 means Kyo can cast her ultimate quite frequently. Kyo has 3 different passives, unlocking at Ascension level 1, 4, and automatically. For her treasure passive, what she does is she can locate and find treasures for you that's unique to Mondstadt on the minimap. Upon limit breaking Kyo from level 20 to 40, Kyo will obtain the Punting Surprise. So when Jumping Duffy and normal attack deals damage, Kyo has a 50% chance to obtain the Explosive Spark. It's a little flower around Kyo, and this spark allows her charge attack, which consumes 50 stamina, to cost nothing with stamina, also deal 50% damage. This is one of her burst AoE spells and it's very powerful. At the same time, upon getting Kyo to level 70, her charge attack, whenever that criticals, it will give the whole party 2 elemental energy. So effectively, she can become a mana buffer for the whole party to allow us to cast heals and burst damage much quicker. Upon getting 1 duplicate of Kyo, you'll be doing more damage with her normal attack at a certain chance, and the 120% of her ultimate damage is about 60% of her normal attack. After that, she can reduce enemies' defense, and she'll get higher levels with the spells. Followed by that, at Constellation level 4, if Kyo is swapped with another party member while her ultimate is ongoing, she will deal 555% of her damage as pyro damage. It is massive, but keep in mind, her ulti is not gonna persist on the field, so switching her back in and back out loses her ulti. Upon reaching maximum constellation, when Kyo casts the ultimate, her entire party will regenerate energy. At the same time, after her ultimate finishes, the entire party will gain bonus pyro damage for the next 25 seconds. And because Kyo is a Catalyst user, a lot of the strategies, theories we have on this particular guide can also be used for someone like Lisa, Mona, and maybe Nigon, or even Sucrose. For Barber, you do want to build her with a lot of HP because her spell scales with HP. There are 2 5-star catalysts for Kyo, and I'll recommend going for the Skyward Atlas for more elemental damage and more continuous damage. We'll be focusing on most of the 4-star weapons in this particular guide, because 5 stars are really powerful, but it's very hard to get them. For the Blacksmith crafting choice for the catalyst, we'll have 2 choices, the Prototype Manus or the Mappa Mare. We can see over here the Prototype Manus is a support item that heals the entire team, and the Mappa Mare is the damage item out of the 2. It also increases Elemental Mastery, which is nice for Kyo to increase her combinations with her allies. Upon triggering Elemental Reactions, she will be grant 8% to 16% bonus damage for 10 seconds, maximum 2 stacks, so about 16 to 32% maximum elemental damage. Knowing that all of Kyo's damage and spells scales with pyro damage, the higher elemental damage she does, the higher damage output she has. And this will be one of our major focus to get her pyro damage as high as we can. There is only one bounty pass weapon for the Catalyst, which is the Solar's Pearl. Upon normal attack, you increase elemental and elemental burst damage, and upon elemental burst and elemental skill damage, you increase your normal attack damage. This is quite nice because she can constantly rotate between her elemental skills and also her normal attacks. Although she has a 20-second cooldown with elemental skills, if she uses her 2 duration effectively, she can do quite a bit of damage. Because we can count 6 seconds, we can use 1, then we count 6 seconds again, we can use 1, and we'll also rotate the elemental burst in between. Finally, for the weapon gadget choice, I'll recommend trying out the Wisdis, the Fernaris Codex, and also the Eye of Perception. Let's have a look at those. The Wisdis is an RNG item. It will increase her critical damage as a substat, and also when the character takes the field, they will have increased base attack damage, increased elemental mastery, or increase all elemental damage by 48%. This is very powerful, but the limitation is it can only work every 30 seconds. Because Kyo is a DPS character, you might not want to use this one, but it could be very fun to use it for massive burst potential. The Fernaris Codex works very well with Kyo to gain energy as substats. Also, critical hit have a chance to gain her more energy. This turns her into a casting machine. She can cast her ultimate as soon as it comes on cooldown, and she can be very powerful with multiple casting. And finally, we have Eye of Perception. This 4-star Catalyst is very straightforward. Attack as substats for high damage, and normal attack and charge attack have a chance to fire a firebolt of perception, dealing 240 up to 360% damage as attack, and this bolt will bounce between enemies up to 4 times. It will have a 12-second cooldown, but compared to the other items, it is on a faster cooldown. When looking at the 4-star weapons, we also look at the chance of getting a duplicate. It is the easiest to get the crafting weapon for more duplicates, followed by the gadget items, and lastly the battle pass. Because we can only get 1 battle pass every 40 days, it will take us 6 battle pass, which is going to be 240 days to max level the Solar's Pearl. Coming over to the artifact choices, if you guys haven't seen my tier list video on the artifacts, we have made a tier list. You can also change the ranking of the tier list, and I will be using this tier list to show us the artifacts as well. Knowing that Kyo's charge attack scales with a critical rate and gives the whole party elemental energy, what we can consider is we can consider going to the Berserker for high critical rate and even higher critical rate. And this is not bad to start things off, because critical rate is always needed for everything. After that, we can look into the Gambler for the higher elemental skill damage, and upon defeating enemies, we can reset our elemental skills, which can give us more of the elemental skills. The downside of this is you are limited with her E spell, and this might not be the highest damage. The artifact Crimson Witch of Flames is a very powerful item for Kyo because it increases pyro damage bonus. All her attacks are from pyro damage, and this also increases overload, burning, and also vaporize and melt. This elemental combination with using elemental skills also increase the effectiveness of skills by 50% for 10 seconds, maximum 3 stacks. So this item is by far one of the most powerful set for her if you're going for the pyro damage build. When we look at the 4 set bonus, you can see that using elemental skills increase the 2-piece effect, which is 15 pyro damage by 50%. What that means is each time Kyo casts a spell with her E spell, she will increase her pyro damage by not only by 15%, also by 7.5% on top of that, up to 22.5%. But because she has a limitation of her spell's cooldown, the maximum she can get is pretty much 2 stacks. Our next few artifact choices are the less preferable ones. Coming to the martial artist, we can see that we can increase normal attack and charge attack, and also using elemental skill, increase the normal attack and charge attack damage. You can see that this doesn't buff her ultimate. At the same time, this is not buffing her critical rate, which goes on to everything. So those artifact set are like the optional ones if you can't get the top ones. The Resolution of Chandra and also the Lavadan Worker also have those particular issues. They focus on one particular attack style, maybe the charge attack, maybe increased dealing with the pyro debuff enemies, but they do not provide her with overall damage, and we won't go into those artifacts in detail. For the main and substats for the artifacts, what you can do is you can look for the attack percentage on the main stats over here like most of my artifacts. You can also look for the critical rate, critical damage on the headpiece, which is the last artifact. And after that, what you want to do is, for the SAP stats, you want to go for critical rate, attack percentage, critical damage, and also energy gain for her faster ultimates, and also elemental mastery for the highest damage output. You can go for flat attack damage, but that is not as highly gained as the other one. Coming over to the party setup for Kale, we can look towards for the team resonance for the 2 Pyro, 2 Cryo, and also 2 Electro. Let's have a look at those over here. Having 2 Pyro give us the 25% damage increase, which is straightforwardly good because Kale is also a Pyro character. You can go with the Luke or maybe Xiaoling for the combination. Followed by that, we can go with the 2 Cryo for 15% increased chance to crit after the enemy is affected by Cryo. It's a little more difficult to continuously to achieve this, but this can help with a critical rate. Having Kale on the team as a Pyro character, we can look towards the Amino, Hydro, Cryo, and Electro combinations with other characters. We will need an Amino character for the Swirl, Vaporize for Hydro, Melt with Cryo, and Overload. Keep in mind, there is an order of the spells. You do have to debuff enemy with Pyro, then Amino to start the Swirl. We want to debuff enemies with Pyro first, then Hydro to achieve the 2 times damage instead of 1.5 times. And similarly, you want to debuff enemy with Cryo first, then Pyro to increase the damage by 2 times. I am preparing a guide which will demonstrate all of those orders of skills, combinations, and elemental counters for us, so that will be coming very soon. And finally, Electric is pretty straightforward. We'll do Pyro damage AoE as the enemies are overloaded, and also we do additional damage to those geostructures enemies can summon. To summarize this video, Kale is a great Pyro DPS short burst character. Her focus will be dealing more Pyro damage, and we can build the artifacts and weapon towards that. Whether it's for higher energy gain or higher Pyro damage stats, it's up to us. We can also focus on the main stats for critical rate for her passives, and also increase her attack and stats accordingly. Having Kale on the team means we can easily combine to 2 Pyro with Xiaoling, which is a free character for most of us, and combining with the Wind Traveler, Barbara, Kaya, or maybe Lisa, we can achieve those possible elemental synergies. Now, if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe and also click the little bell for more videos like this to come. As always, I wish you guys best of luck in Gathering and also have a great time exploring this beautiful world. I'll see you guys next time. Take care everyone.